Alright, so one of the first ones was like number 20 from the A3 homework. And so this just has a basic s squared minus 5s plus 6. We'll notice that the leading coefficient is a 1. So whenever we have these quadratics, these polynomials, we always will put the variable in front of each one of them. And then we're trying to figure out what number multiplies to give you 6 that adds up to give you a negative 5. So we have two numbers that multiply to give you a positive 6 that add up to give you a negative 5. So you're thinking 6 and 1, 3 and 2. Well, is it the 6 and 1 or the 3 and 2? So they either both have to be negative or both have to be positive to give you that positive 6 when multiplied. So if they're going to have the same sign, it needs to be negative 3 and negative 2. Because that added those up, I get a negative 5. And then I can factor this one. Again, for the 6 and 1, yes, you can get negative 5 out of it, but would it give you a positive 6? And the answer is no. It would give you a negative 6. So this would be that one factored. The one right underneath that, 21, it had a 4x squared plus 39x plus 27. So this one I'm going to do a little differently. To factor this one, I prefer something that I've called the magic method for years. And I'm going to put 4x in the front of each one of them, similar to what we did up here with the s. But again, 4x in the front of each one of them, like that's wrong, because if I multiply those, that would give me a 16x squared. So I know that's wrong. But let's just complete this out. So now I'm going to multiply my first term and my last term. So I have 4 times 27, which I believe that's going to be 108. So I need to find all the factors of 108 and try to find the one that gives me 39. So again, I could put 4 and 27. Can't get 39 out of that one. What else could I use? I could use a 2 and 54. That would give me 108, but not what I need. Let's see what 3 would give me. I think 3 goes into that. 3 times, I think it's going to be 36. Check my math on that. But hey, I think that gives me my 39 that I'm looking for. Right? So they'd both be positive, plus 3 plus 36. So again, this has all types of wrong in it. But with this magic method, the next thing we're going to do is see if we can factor anything out of that one. 4x plus 3. And I can't, right? So it just stays 4x plus 3. This one I can factor a 4 out of, and I'd be left with x plus 9. Now, up here, I added an extra 4. So down here I have to get rid of a 4, and it's that one that I factored out. And so my final answer is going to be 4x plus 3 times x plus 9. And so that's using what I call the magic method, because we're doing some things wrong up here, but then we end up taking it away in that final step. So, one more I wanted to look at, I believe, was number 24. 24 was a factoring by grouping. So it was x cubed plus 5x squared minus 5x minus 25. So when you do a factoring by grouping, you're supposed to group the first two and group the last two. One thing I want you to be careful of is when you're grouping the last two, make sure you change that subtraction sign to an add the opposite. So instead of minus 5x, I have plus negative 5x. It means the same thing. Just looks a little different, and it helps us with our factoring. So this one I can take out an x squared on both of them. And now on this one I can take out a negative 5 on both of them. And again, the idea when you do this is to get that common term. So now I have an x squared minus 5, and then I have x plus 5. So this is by factoring by grouping for this A3 section.